We will thrive.
So, I'm happy to have you here, Haskell Jackson.
How are you, everybody? We
Oh,
will thrive, guys.
yes, we will.
Yes.
We will, with the help of you.
I'm so excited. I've been like on the edge of my seat since I heard about this event. This is such a time as this. From living in LA and seeing like the effect that this pandemic has had on people, family members, church members. It's just been very disheartening. But at the same time, because I'm a creative, I'm always thinking ahead. I'm always trying to think of ways that I can encourage and put some belief in someone so that they can make it through this time. You know, it's very difficult right now.
Yeah, I think we all have to do it, and this is exactly how what's this live stream is about. So, Haskell,
Yeah.
I said some things about you, but maybe you can talk a bit about you. Who is Haskell
Okay.
Jackson?
Well, Haskel Jackson, born and raised in Los Angeles. I'll just kind of run through it because I have some extensive things in my background, but I'll try to just give you nutshells. So, born and raised in Los Angeles. My mom passed away when I was 6 years old. And when she passed, I went into a foster home with me and my two brothers. And so had that. I didn't have a relationship with my dad. So in the interim, my grandmother, Superwoman, man, she was that soulful mom that just took us in. She actually adopted me and my two brothers and took us in and took care of us and raised us. And so and rest in peace to her. She's not here with us anymore, but she left so much inside of me. So who is Haskell Jackson? I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. First off, I love God. I appreciate who he is in my life. Um, I am that kid that represents a lot of different kids. I was that kid that played sports. I played football, basketball, baseball. I ran track. And being raised in the streets of LA, and having friends and family, I'm that kid playing football in the street, playing doorbell ditch. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Um, and just having those experiences in LA, seeing good and bad all at the same time. Having to catch the bus. I went to Santa Barbara, which is now Martin Luther King Elementary. I graduated from there. I went to Horseman Junior High. Graduated from there. Went to Crenshaw High School, which is a very popular high school. Graduated from there. Then I went to CSUN, Cal State Northridge. And there is when I really found music in college. Now, I didn't study music in college. I became a part of a group, and we called ourselves Straight Vocals. It was four of us. We used to sing a cappella music, and we eventually got a record deal with Motown. And so we got this record deal with Motown. I'm kind of, just kind of going through this story fairly fast but got a deal with Motown under the great Frank Wilson, may rest his soul. He became a pastor. He was a great writer, a great man, great spirit over at Motown. He signed us. We did an album. I had my first experience to do a major project called Motown Comes Home, and it had Boyz II Men on there, Stevie Wonder, Temptations. I mean, some great, Smokey Robinson. This was my experience into the music. And so once we did that album went ahead to get nominated for Album of the Year as a Grammy. That was my first experience as a Grammy nominee. And so from there, we started traveling with the album all around the world, doing shows, and we were a gospel group. So they called us like the Boys, the Men of Gospel. And we did all kind of harmonies and stuff. So that was my introduction. I started writing, I started doing production. And that is when I realized, wow, there's something to this music thing. I really, honed into it. So that's who Haskell is. And more importantly, I am a husband of 20, going on 23 years. I'm so in love with my wife, and marriage works. And I'm a proud father to a beautiful daughter, Genesis Jackson. My wife is Cynthia Jackson. My daughter is Genesis. She is first year at UCLA. She's amazing. I mean, we got a lot going on in our household, you know. But I'm very excited about family, about love, about agreeing as couples and continue to grow together opposed to growing apart. And so we really fight for those things in our marriage. We talk to young couples all the time, and we try to make sure that that is very important in marriage. That you love each other, you have those integrity. And because I'm in the
Yeah.
music business, there's a lot that go on in the business. You see a lot, you hear a lot, but you have to make sure that you're locked into your marriage to the love of your life, and that's who she is to me. So my family, Jesus, my church center of hope, Pastor Jeremy Dixon. I want to give him a shout out and everybody there. And so yeah, that's who I am. That's the first question.
Thank you so much. I think it was a huge range. You do so many things. You just told us that you raced in the streets of LA, and in this
Yeah.
January, I've been to LA, especially in the near of the Central Station, and I was so shocked by all the homeless people. In my personal
Mm.
point of view, in my personal experience, I would say that in America there are much more homeless people in general than in Germany, but
Wow.
especially in the near of the Central Station, it's like a village in the town with a
Wow.
lot of tents, and it was so touching. And my question is, because you also help people from the streets, is it especially these streets also in LA?
Yeah, absolutely. I really gravitated towards kids. I ran the Kanye West Foundation for over 6 years, along with some amazing executives there. But my whole aim was to excite them about learning. And it was through music. So I brought music. I built recording studios inside classrooms to where they would come from English and math, and then I would get their attention with music. It was like that dangling of the carrot. And but in order to be in my classroom, they had to keep a above C average. They had to keep their attendance up and the morale in the community. Like they had to become better kids and more attentive kids to be in my class. And so I was able to really reach them. And man, I'm so grateful for Donda West. I would not, I don't think I would have this passion to teach kids and to reach out to kids had it not been for her. And Kanye West, like they created Loop Dreams. That was just this amazing program. I was able to touch thousands of kids. So you're right. So being a kid from LA and seeing what goes on and in the streets from gang banging, and I've had family members in those lifestyles. And I just feel like I've always been covered to not have to go those routes. But at the same time, I've always had a passion and love for just real people, just everyday people, not trying to fluff or be anything other than. So my aim, I wanted to be a part of We Will Thrive because this No Child Hungry, No Kid Hungry is that is such a special movement. I had to be a part of this. There's no
Donate.
way that me and my family, my friends wouldn't donate and be a part of this movement. So I just want to take the time to say thank you to Peter and Katya
Yeah.
for putting such an event together to bring everybody like this with love and passion. And so yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah, yeah, I recognize it. It's yeah, it means so much. The title of your presentation or interview, I didn't tell the audience prior, is "What do you do when you lose your voice?"
Yes. So as you can tell, my voice is a little raspy. So about 10 years ago, I was leading worship at church, and then I started having problems singing on Sunday mornings. And I went to go get checked out. The doctor checked my throat. Everything was fine. He didn't see any rupture, any damage, no nodules or anything like that. But he said, I don't know, maybe it's chronic hoarseness. And so my life was all about being an artist and singing. So I named this what I named it. What do you do when you lose your voice? Because when something comes in your life and you're impacted to the point where you have to give it up or you lose it or it becomes tragic and you don't know what to do, you have to make up your mind. You have to make decisions to change your course. And so I had to change my course and change my thinking. And I couldn't sit around and pout about it. I had to be very strategic in prayer and ask God, what do you want me to do? Because now I'm facing this. And so what I'm doing right now with motivational speaking, I have 9 companies. Haskel Jackson Entertainment is an umbrella. And I have 9 companies under there. I have Music for Your Mental Health. And that's me and some brothers that we started this to go and put music therapy in schools. Because a lot of times in the Black community, we don't hear a lot about therapy. And it's like this, sometimes it could come off a little weird, but it's very important for us to be therapeutic, especially during this time. So I have that. I have The Scorekeeper. It's a TV show that I'll be rolling out at the top of the year. You guys keep your eyes and ears open. Pie Stations is a curriculum that I created that will go into schools. Genesol Productions is where I produce from celebrities to young kids. It's an artist development company as well. The Genesol Music Lab, that's my recording studio. I have that in Inglewood. And I have UTL Music, which is my publishing company. And then lastly, I have 444 Management. And we manage artists from ground up and try to make sure we direct them, give them the right direction. So I have all of these things because I lost something, but I gained something.
Yeah.
So I lost something at that time. I didn't understand what I was going through. And I wanted to relate what I went through with this pandemic, because many of you, thousands of you, were on a path and you had a plan and you had everything worked out. You were waking up every day. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew where you were going. And this pandemic came in like a flood and it changed your life. And I just want to tell you right now, if you lost your voice, there's something else. There's a ram in the bush that God has for you. He will pick you up. He'll give you something else to do. He's never out of resources. He's never out of opportunities. He will be there for you. Lift your head up. It's okay to cry. Be encouraged. You're going to be all right. We're going to get through this together. We're not going to just strive. We're going to thrive. We're going to thrive. We're going to make it through this.
Yeah.
So when you lose your voice, it's not over with. You're going to gain something else. That's why I named it that.
Yeah, that's so true. We will thrive together in trust and faith. Thank you so much, Haskel Jackson, for all your inspiring words. You're so ambitious. And if someone of you wants to follow him or find him, you can see haskeljackson.com on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We will find you. Thank you so much and all the best to you.
Thank you. God bless you guys. All right.
Thank you.